Let's do this. Hello and welcome. I'm Nick Green of Mill City Roasters.
Welcome. Bienvenidos.
It's Dave Borton, everybody. He's
from Mill City in Minneapolis, the conclusion of round one of a two-round second international roasting competition. We have a new director today, Bob Fredrickson from Prince Edward Island.
Special little
He's
cameo.
behind the camera, and Bob has helped us with ideas
That's
on
me.
how to improve. Thank you, Bob, for
Very much
both
appreciate
listening.
the freelance consulting he provides.
Absolutely, it was
It's
well
amazing.
done. Nick, I think we've got some anxious people out there, so I would suggest going ahead and announcing the winners and get everybody to moan and groan or celebrate, and we'll move on to roast round two.
So some of you follow the wonderful Serena from Mill City Roasters on Instagram. You'll already see that last night we spent the whole night grading, reviewing, double checking, and getting to a point where we have 7 winners. That means we have 4 5 out of 5s. 4 people beat the statistics, beat the odds, got 5 out of 5. We had to knock a couple of 4 out of 5 guys off because of some late 5 out of 5s. So I apologize.
I don't.
This timing thing worked altogether too well. I'll just throw that out there. Very surprised by the, how should I say this? The relationship between the guesses. And we'll go into that a little bit later in terms of what we learned from this.
This has turned out much better than I'd ever envisioned. We had 115, 117 entrants, something like that. So virtually 50% higher participation than last year. Just a good cross-section of home roasters, small commercial roasters. We're trying to emphasize build community, cup together, learn your origins. We've got beautiful support from Prima. Those of you that participated have a coupon, and you have until the 30th of September to use that coupon that we provided you to get those 10 and 15% discounts. Grinder, cupping, supplies over at our friends from Prima Coffee in Kentucky.
Well, let's just thank all of our sponsors before we get into this. Bird & Bell for the fantastic apron, the same apron that some of you were fortunate enough to get and see at Roasters Guild. Prima Coffee, of course, Barazza, for letting us, well, unfortunately not the new grinder, though we'll get one soon, I promise you, Dave, for their donation of a grinder to round out some of our prize packages. North Coffee for putting up a 500-gram roaster to the #1 prize.
And our co-sponsor, Cafe Imports. Our buddy
there, yeah.
Joe Morocco over at Cafe Imports, the St. Louis Cardinals fan.
Nobody's perfect.
Yeah,
nobody's perfect.
That's right.
Yep.
What Joe and I attempted to do in the selection of the coffees is provide you 5 coffees that we would cup out between an 86 and an 88. We didn't throw the stellars out there, those Yemen Red Haraz, which is coming next week, by the way, sports fans. I've got 5 bags of that for you. But rather give you coffee, and as Joe would tell you, give me an 87.5 coffee.
Yeah.
A good roaster can turn that into an 89.5, and let's say a less than perfect roaster can diminish that coffee to an 85.5. So we wanted to get those middle of the roads. I didn't want to put any dead giveaways in there. There's no point in putting a Sumatran in there. Everybody knows what that looks like. Didn't want to put a Yemen Red Haraz in there. That's a dead giveaway. So we looked for a variety of really good coffees that you could do your best on.
I think we did a good job. There was a lot of great discussion. A lot of great discussion.
A lot of good discussion over homebarista.com.
North Roaster Forum.
North Roaster Forum. Good discussion. And this has also been billed on coffeeforums.com.
Indeed it has.
And leverheadcoffee.com.
We got a lot of nice people participating and helping us out with this.
And as we've always talked, I have never found an industry with such good people involved as in with coffee. Just phenomenal support, mutual interest, collaboration. And so we thank all of you for participating and for the extended community that you created by putting these 5 coffees on tables and inviting people in, huh? Who won? Come on, knock it off.
Let's do this first.
Okay.
You guys ready? I'm going to give you the 5 origins. Oh, we've been waiting for this for days. This is fantastic. Number 1, we got a lot of Mexicans. We got a lot of Central American guesses. This was a Costa Rican. This was a Costa Rican natural.
Yes.
And not a dead giveaway, but very indicative of both the region and from a taste profile, the actual origin.
I'm not sure I would have gotten it correct. If you choked on that one, do not feel bad. I'm not sure I could have picked it off a blind table. Now, I might have backed my way into it. Somebody said blueberry notes. I didn't get the blueberry in it. Well, you may have. So that would throw you towards Ethiopia. So Costa Rican, that was a tough natural.
Tough natural. Number 2 was, as Mr. Gardner informed us all, and he was correct, was a Pacamara. That is predominantly out of El Salvador.
Yeah, you can get them out of Guatemala, you can get them out of Mexico. El Salvador would have been my first guess. I probably would have gotten El Salvador in that one.
Very good, almost Sherlock Holmes-esque analysis of number 2. A lot of people had a lot of great conversations, a lot of great comments.
That's the idea. Learn from one another.
Exactly. Great conversations. Number 3 was?
Colombia. Huila. Uniform bean.
Beautiful.
I love this particular Colombian. It just gives you that bright sparkle, some nice orange acidity in there, some chocolates in there. Colombia, yeah, I probably would have gotten that one.
Okay.
And that's the last, I probably would have gotten 2 out of 5. Go ahead, Nick.
Now, Rob Gardner had a sample from Cafe Imports, so
He was lucky.
We're not counting that one, Rob.
I'm not giving you
that
any
one's
credit for that one.
None.
Rob.
None whatsoever. Number 4 was a Guatemala. Guatemalan. A Guatemala.
Light body, typical Guat. I probably would have tried to second guess Mill City Roasters and said they put it in there. I'd think it's a Guat, but it's not a Guat, and I would have guessed Mexican and been wrong.
Sure. We had a lot of people submit Ecuador for that. Flavor-wise, I could see that.
Yeah, Ecuador to me, and this is bias, are a little bit lighter and a little bit less interesting to me than a Guat. I've had stellar Ecuadors, but
They're fewer and further between.
yeah, gosh, I think they only export 30,000 bags out of Ecuador a year. Very small crop, so that was number 4, right?
Okay, Rob's saying he didn't see that sample until last night. We'll give you that point back. That's fine. You can have it. You can have it.
That's
By the way, I'm live chatting with you guys right here on the fantastic Microsoft Surface. They're not a sponsor, but
I'm
next
not.
year,
It's too high tech for me.
next year, Microsoft will sponsor Focus on the Roast. It'll be
Oh,
good.
yeah,
Yeah.
Bill Gates.
Anything else about number 4 that
No.
stood out to you? Okay. And number 5, as most of you guessed, was an African coffee from
The Yirgacheffe region, the Gedeo, Gedeo.
Yep.
I believe that's the Abaya washing station.
Yep.
That is a washed Yirgacheffe. I love it. Bob and I have been trying to dial that in home, and he said last night he pulled a good shot of that on my Swiss Olympia Cremina. 23 grams. He likes ristrettos. So we're going to be drinking that all afternoon. I've got a ton of that back. So next week, if you guys want to jump on that coffee, grab some. Nick, you want to talk at all how you would like to market round 1, and then let's talk about round 2?
Yeah. What do you mean market? I'm caught up with this live chatting.
Well, let's go with finishing the 7 winners. I think we've teased enough.
Okay, absolutely. First place, submitted immediately after my website came back online due to a terrible, terrible first of its kind DDoS attack. Lyle Erickson with 5 out of 5, submitted Monday at 153. Congratulations, sir. You are top dog of phase 1. Let's see how well you do in phase 2. Second place goes to Cody Larson with 5 out of 5. Cody's from Stoke Coffee.
Stoke, S-T-O-K-E.
I'm reading his email, so if I'm mispronouncing that, I apologize. We hastily created the form. I should have gotten your company information as well. Austin Amento of Augie's Coffee House is our third place with 5 out of 5 as well. Harrison Boyd, a name we know well, took 4th place.
It's not 4th place.
Well, it's not 4th place. I apologize.
He's the 4th
finalist.
Finalist that's going to move to round 2.
All right, I'll adjust my wording here. Austin, is it Cy? I think it's Cy. Austin.
That's how I would
You know
pronounce
who you are. You got 4 out of 5. Congratulations, sir. Alan Folks with 4 out of 5.
Good for him. I know Alan.
Right. And Paul Trum, who we know quite well. Paul Trum took our last spot in our finalists.
Okay, so we've got 7 finalists. We're going to send out 5 pounds of a known Colombian. You'll know the elevation. Look at your density. Compare it to your typical density. Go after it. No cost on this. It's just coming out. You sending them out this afternoon or tomorrow?
We will be cutting burlap, opening Grain Pro, bagging, and mailing these all out today.
Okay, good job. So you're going to know that I need to provide that to you before I get away today. Put your best shine on it. Look at your suspension dates, and I have informed you when that coffee needs to be back here. And I've got professional jurists, professional couplers as jurists. We're going to live stream that from Cafe Imports.
It's going to be quite nice.
I don't care how you roast that. Some of you are into these light roasts where you just drop at the end of first crack. I don't care if you take it into second crack. If you feel that's the best presentation of that particular coffee, submit it. And they'll be judging it based on what you submit. You only get to submit 1 bag. So don't say, well, here's 2 or 3 of my samples, and I'd like you to pick. No, 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 no. You determine the best shine on that bean. We're going to live stream that for you. That's the last Friday in September, and we go live at 2 Central from Cafe Imports here in Minneapolis. Joe Morocco, Cafe Imports, is leading the judging. And then you'll be vying for the 5 places as 7 entrants. So 2 of you will get best of show, the rest will get prizes. Nick, you want to talk now about first round's coffees and their availability next week?
The availability next week is whatever you guys don't purchase off my website today. It's all up. As soon as we started the live stream, albeit late, those coffees went up at noon. They were scheduled to hit. So if you go to our green coffee category page in our shop right now, you will actually see 5 coffees labeled with the same sample logos that were on your tubes. Hopefully this makes it a little bit easier to find, to understand, to know what's going on. Grab as many pounds of 4 and 5 as you can. The other ones, we don't have quite as large of an inventory, so that is going to be first come, first serve.
Yeah, and they may go today. Monday morning I'll be talking with Adrian and Joe at Cafe Imports. I'm not sure how deep they kept a reservation on me. If I've got more, by noon Monday, coffees 1, 2, and 3 will reappear with more depth rather than sold out. 4 and 5 I went very deep on. I liked both of those coffees. I loved their price points, so we're flushing them. Don't worry about them.
Judges for phase 2. Let's go over that quick. We've had a couple of questions. We're doing this live, as live as we can.
Joe Morocco's leading it. Tony Carrillo is the lead roaster over at Spy House Coffee here in town. And Tony was Roaster of the Year at SCAA in Atlanta in April. And I've got a couple of other invites out there. Micah from Boot House Coffee here in town is going to be at the table. And I'm getting confirmation on 3 more judges. So stay tuned.
We have assembled the best of the best from the Minneapolis area. Hopefully, if you guys are ever in town and able to swing by, we'd love to film a video, do all that stuff with each and every one of you. Just for the information, again, just going through live questions as they come through. Our last submission that made it into the 4 out of 5 categories came in on Saturday the 3rd. So that submission from Bradley on Monday, unfortunately, was knocked off by our 5 out of 5 winners. Beyond that,
yeah, Dave at millcityroasters.com, Nick at millcityroasters.com. Submit any constructive advice. Please don't just say, the way you did it was stupid. If you've got a way to help me improve that, I think we're all ears. There's no perfect way to do this kind of roast off. Again, there's a competitive edge to it. I hope so. I'm extremely competitive myself. But I'm also interested in how can I build out my buds so that we learn together. How can you help inform and improve my palate as we go along? How do you put groups together? How do you cup well? So that's what we were after here, and hopefully some of that occurred for you. Yeah. I know it did.
This was a bit of a stimulus to the conversation we hope to inspire through our sampler pack sales. Assembling 10 pounds of coffee just the same way that you guys purchase for your entry kit for Focus on the Roast 2016. We do those sampler kits every single month. This isn't coffee that was just lying around and we thought we should get off the shelf. This is real coffee that we've chosen to be a lesson plan, so to speak. Sometimes for your palate, sometimes for your roasting skills, sometimes more specifically towards just airflow or whatever we want to base a video on in the future.
And sometimes for your pocket.
Sometimes just
for your wallet.
Yeah, for mine. He doesn't know the margins on sampler packs. Please don't buy too many, we might go broke.
There is no margin in greens.
No, it's, let's not get into the whole labor of love thing. Yeah,
it's
absolutely. You guys are the best. Thank you so much for participating. This whole thing would be nothing without you guys. So
thanks very much. Look for round 2 live stream, September 30th, 2 p.m. from Cafe Imports with Nick Green, Dave Borton, Mill City Roasters. Adios.
See ya. Da-da-do.